Children, 10th class English, first unit, A reading. Attitude is altitude. This is our lesson for today. Okay, so attitude is altitude. Attitude means behavior. A person's behavior. Altitude means height or elevation. Elevation means high position. Okay, now it means here your behavior, your attitude is good enough, then you will be in good position. It means a high position. Okay, let's start our lesson. Imagine having no arms to stretch in the morning to help you scratch that itch, to allow you wrap your arms around your loved ones. So it means here, imagine having no arms to stretch in the morning. Suppose if you don't have arms, suppose if you don't have hands, then how can you stretch your hands in the morning? Not possible, right? To help you scratch that itch. It means here, if you don't have hands, how can you scratch the itch? When you feel itching, then how can you scratch without arms? Is it possible? Not possible, right? To allow you to wrap your arms around your loved ones. So usually what do we do? Our parents, we love them and sometimes we hug them, right? So in case if we don't have arms, then how can we hug them? Imagine once. Imagine having no legs to kick pebbles down the street, to walk or run. So now imagine if you don't have legs, how can you kick the pebbles on the street? You are going on the street, pebbles are there on the street, then we kick, right? If we don't have legs, we cannot kick. Even to walk or run also we should have legs. Otherwise we cannot walk, we cannot run. To bicycle or skateboard. So for to ride bicycle and skateboard also we need legs. To get you from point A to point B, it means to move one place to another place we need legs. Then imagine both at once. Both at once. What is the both here? Having no arms, having no legs, having no arms and legs. This is the situation. Then imagine without arms and legs, what can you do? How your life will be? Imagine once. Which is what Nick Vujicic has faced his whole life. Have you heard something like this before? So here, whatever we imagine that having no arms and legs, if we imagine how did we feel without arms and legs, it is very difficult to lead the life, right? So the same happened to one person. The person is none other than Nick Vujicic. So his entire life, without arms and legs, he led the life. How difficult it is, you can understand. But he led his life. Who is that person? Nick Vujicic. So here asking, have you heard something like this before? Such a story have you heard before? Asking. You might not have heard it, right? So this story here asking and saying like this, Nick Vujicic was born with no arms and legs. That's what we already imagine. That without arms and legs, how our life will be. We imagine, right? Now I'm saying this person, Nick Vujicic, was born with no arms and legs. But he doesn't let the details stop him. He did not give permission to stop him. He did not give permission to the details to stop him. The details means here the disability, that having no arms and legs. That disability could not stop him from achieving something. It means with a confident, with a, full of positiveness, he achieved something. In spite of having no arms and legs, he achieved something. The brave 26-year-old, brave, he is brave, not timid. 26-year-old, who is mainly a torso. Torso means main part of the body. So torso means excluding arms and legs and head. That is the main part of the body is called torso. He is not completely torso because he has head, right? It means he is, we can say he is mainly a torso. It means he doesn't have arms and legs. Understood? So here, saying, plays football and golf. He plays football and golf. Imagine, without arms and legs, how can we play football and golf? But he plays. Swims and surfs. Swimming, surfing also he can do without arms and legs. Despite having no limbs means, despite having no means, despite means in spite of. Despite means in spite of. In spite of having no limbs. Limbs means arms and legs. In one word, we can say this arms and legs with one word, that is limbs. So here, despite having no limbs, he can do all these things. How great he is. Nick has a small foot on his left hip, which helps him balance and enables him to kick. So here we are talking about a small foot. In this sentence, here saying a small foot he has. Who has? Nick. Nick Vujicic has a small foot. Where? On his left hip. Hip means a joint, hip joint. Okay. Hip means here below the waist and above the thigh. There is a joint, hip joint, that is called hip joint. So here he has a small foot on his left hip, which helps him balance and enables him to kick. So with the help of that only he can balance himself from falling. So here he cannot sit without a small foot. So because here he has no arms and legs, right? How can he sit vertically? If he cannot balance, then he falls down, right? But here the luckiest thing to Nick Vujicic is that he has at least a small foot. Okay, without that small foot, he cannot balance. He may fall down. Understood? So here, with the help of that small foot only, he can balance himself from falling down, and enables him to kick. With the help of that small foot only, he can kick. Huh? So we already discussed that he plays football, golf, everything, right? And swimming, surfing also he does, right? With the help of this small foot only, he uses his one foot to type. Even to type also he uses the small foot. Write with a pen. So holding a pen with the this small foot only, he writes and pick the things up between his toes. So whatever on the ground, he pick them up. The things he pick them up using this small foot and its toes. Of course, this small foot has toes also. But you may get here one doubt. Sir, you said he doesn't have no arms and legs. Then here what you're talking about a small foot. So it means he has a small foot, that too undeveloped foot. This is not complete foot, but undeveloped, abnormal foot, that one. That is not complete foot, undeveloped foot he has. Okay. He uses his one foot to type, write with a pen and pick the things up between his toes. I call it my chicken drumstick. Joke Nick. So he has Nick Vujicic. He is joking, calling that a small foot as a chicken drumstick. So that's why he has said, I call it. It means here a small foot. How he is calling his small foot? Chicken drumstick. Chicken drumstick means chicken leg piece. Joking, saying like that, calling it as a chicken drumstick. It means maybe it resembles the same. It resembles the chicken leg piece, chicken drumstick. Okay, chicken drumstick means chicken leg piece, right? So here his foot also looks like the chicken drumstick. That's why he's calling, joking, for joke he's calling it as if it is a chicken drumstick. Who was born in Melbourne, Australia, but now lives in Los Angeles. Understood? He was born in Melbourne. Born in Melbourne, Australia. In Australia he was born, but now he lives in Los Angeles. Los Angeles means this is a city in California. California state, in US. I would be lost without it. I would be lost without it. It means a small foot, what he said. With that only he balances himself, right? He plays, he kicks, he rides, he pick the things up. Everything he can do with that only. So without it, I would be lost. He's saying. He's very modest, humble. But he gets marriage proposals from women. But he gets marriage proposals from women all the time. Always he gets marriage proposals. Though he doesn't have arms and legs, always he gets marriage proposals. Said Nick's friend and publicist Steve Appel from Los Angeles. From Los Angeles, he's a friend. Nick's a friend and publicist. Publicist means press agent, like reporter. Okay. Steve Appel, he is also saying, both he's a friend and a publicist, also saying that Nick always he gets marriage proposals from women. Nick always gets marriage proposals from women. Who is saying these words? Here, his friend and a publicist. Publicist means a press agent. Okay. He would love to get married and start a family, but he's waiting for the right girl to come along. So here, he is also interested in getting married and lead a family, but waiting for a right match. It means a right girl to come along. Means together to lead life. So to be continued in next videos. This lesson will be continued. So please subscribe, share, like. Okay. Any doubts you can comment, give suggestions too.